In this video we will talk about solar panels, some Pleiadian message, and the no money society. And in terms of about talking the no money society, there are these villages called Ubuntu villages, where I have never been to any of them specifically, but what I have heard and what I have talked, that there's one man who pushed this idea forward, and I understand that there are many of these Ubuntu villages. That the idea is that they push out that you don't need to be a slave for the system. You have to be, if you do work for society, it's like doing the job that all people come together to do this job, and they dump out all inefficient systems. And I was on talking about the inefficient systems. What I mean by this is, one time the Pleiadiens said that in one of those channelings, that the money system, the system that we have right now, is like this rope sports, where you try to pull the rope in one direction, and the opposite team is pulling the rope in the other direction, opposite direction, and you try to who beats, and the rope is all together the money system. And when this is how our society is structured, that there's one winner, one loser, or the rope breaks. So the idea is that the story was that if the society pulls the rope into a same direction, that it can start moving in beneficial ways, because when you're pulling a rope one side, the other side, the rope barely moves. But when all the society comes together and pulls a rope to one direction, they all work together as a team, and they can do much greater works. Now this is when we're talking about efficient system. And inefficient system is where you, for example, I was talking about this in one video, where how much inefficient we spend our time in sake of the evolution of civilization. And we need companies that use the transfer terminals for banking cards. Then there's somebody that wants to steal something. There's like a security. Then there's IT services for the banks. And there's so much systems that only try to hold and put together this overall one banking money system. Talking about how much tax you need to pay. You need to have the secretary who counts the bills, the invoices, everything, puts together a balance, and then into the tax department and so on. There's like so much, people spend so much energy inefficiently in no sake of everybody. It's like you spend like nearly 50 or 70 people spend their times are doing job which is not beneficial for the society. For example, if all the people come together and start building something, like we need now a bridge. Imagine everybody is free. They're not enslaved, and they're like, yes, let's go and build this. Maybe one half constructs the idea, one half constructs the materials, one half delivers the materials, and one half puts together like a teamwork. Hey, we built something beautiful. Let's build a beautiful bridge, not a boring concrete metal gray color bridge. Let's build a beautiful bridge. Another half of humans decide how can we make it more interesting, more bigger, more useful for society. And now in systems there's some people that are not satisfied with their salary, not satisfied with their life, try to build this bridge, and there's nearly the same amount of people that try to motivate, build better, do better, increase your goals, and so on. So I was thinking, like the Pleiadians said, that this is a highly inefficient system. And then what the Ubuntu villages are about, the idea is that they are building an effective system. Means that you, only for the sake of society, for your own purposes, food, groceries, heating, electricity, for the main needs of the human, you need to work maybe 3 hours a day, as Pleiadians said, maybe one day a week, or 3 hours a week. I don't know how Pleiadiens said, but this is an effective system. So in the overall 7 days left or 6 days left, that's how you calculate, you can do something in your own creative, expressive ways. And also you need to take in mind that we have now, the humanity now has advanced technologies like robots and huge harvesting systems and huge plantation systems, that you don't need that much people to, like as earlier times, you need to slave and like the grain, you need tons of many working force to like take off these huge square meters of grasslands with the grain. But now you just want tractor and that's done. And what I want to say is that we can, humans can do it more effectively, and this is the time of the great change. And also the idea is, I was like thinking how could I start my own Ubuntu village? And I live in Latvia. There's like -20 in winter, +30 in summer, and obviously, no, you need to have heating. You need to have thicker walls in your house, and you would say the environment is tougher than, like, for example, in Africa. But in Africa is also tough because there's no food; everything is just desert. But the climate is cold, you would say. So to be independent, to be an independent village, you must have a free energy source. And then I was like thinking, what could be a free energy source? It's like, okay, you can channel some kind of free electric motor, like something like this. And it's like, I was like thinking, maybe I will spend 5 years of time developing this motor, like day to day, but I need to pay my bills, I need to do something, so I don't have 5 years, or I don't have even the material, or the support, or the knowledge to like put something together like this. Even if you channel understanding and the diagrams of the equipment, still there's like you need to have lots of experience to put this equipment together, or even to understand, not to understand, but to like you can always do something wrong, and then you don't know what did wrong, and this is the thing. And also the Pleiadiens, many times they're giving these ideas about equipment. They're like, yeah, there is like, as they said, like a God's energy wave. They call it just God's energy wave. And I said, why? Because the wavelength goes into everywhere. If there is a part, or there is a thing that is not filled with this energy wave, it will be filled by this energy wave sooner or later. And the idea is that our all cosmic is tons and tons of billions and trillions of cosmical radiations, many other radiations, the cosmical noise, energy noise, billions and trillions from many other planets, and they filter out all these energies, and they just take this one waveform. It was a beautiful, maybe 7 hertz wavelength, and it flows everywhere. They don't have this idea of electricity. They have this like this loving energy wavelength that flows through all equipments. And this, what they said, you need to only manipulate this energy wavelength like a controller that controls this energy, like up and down, left or right, and everything starts moving and happening. It's like there's like a completely different value of this source energy. And I'm like, okay, it's such a beautiful idea. How can you do it? Yeah, I don't know. How can you do it? I don't know. And also the interstellar spaceship, they call it Trotsop. Yeah, I understand how it works. How can you build it? Completely no idea. So many times it means that you have to advance. You have to take the small steps. You don't have to take one big huge step. And then I was like thinking, well, there are free energies everywhere. It's the solar panels and wind generators. And I was like thinking all about the solar panels. Of course they are expensive if you calculate this and you need sun, but is it really that hard? And also there's this, as Enrico said, the saltwater battery systems, and he said that the ocean is full of saltwater energy. and you have to take it. You just can you can use this energy from the salt waters in the oceans. And I was like, okay, I'm not yet so clever to do this, but it was like, hey, maybe this is just my hallucination. And then I started searching online. Yes, that's true. There are salt water batteries and solar panels, and this is like you make like a several cubic meters of salt water battery, solar panels, charge them on summer, and you use this energy out on winter. It's such a beautiful idea, and it's ecologically free green energy, completely free green energy. And when you wish, you can change the salt water. So then I was like thinking, oh, but this is such a cool idea, and the benefits of solar panels. If you truly wish, you can find solar panels, $100, 250 watts. You can do it. You can find it. It's no problem. So it's cheap in terms. And the main thing is they don't break. Of course, if you drop it or you throw a rock on it, they will break. But for example, if you have a unknown source energy Tesla and all of a sudden it doesn't work, I'm like, okay, what now happened? I spent like $1,000 or $10,000 to build this device. Now it's again broken. Like nearly a week later, it's again broken. And you're like thinking, what's wrong with this? And you spend your time and effort again and again and again. And that's why I thought this is also an efficient way. So the most common and efficient way for me was the solar panels. And this was like such a nice, beautiful idea. So then I started researching about the solar panels, and if you get the prices well, it's highly beneficial. And then I was thinking, this is a really good way to create a no money village, because you have the heating, you have the electricity. Only you need to make a big investment in those solar panels, or you have to produce them in this village, and then you make the solar panels for heating, then you make the solar panels for electricity. Then you make, you do it, and it lasts for like 30 and more years. And it's much cheaper. And people who work there, they just produce solar panels, and all the thing that they sell is like build new houses for new people. And the new people like build like this, where you grow the food. And other people build like a school or something, and just start to express it in beautiful ways. But it's just an idea. And this was like the first step is the source of free energy. And and solar panels do not require any maintenance. Only if the inverter breaks down or there's a rock, somebody throws a rock at your solar panels. No maintenance. Water washes them down. Snow falls down. No spare parts. Only the inverter. And also if you choose an off-grid system, you have the the battery. But we have a reason for that also. So I'm like trying to build. I'm like investigating the time and the sources to build a free energy set. Yes. This was the main thing what I want to say, and I was like starting to think about another thing, so I jumped out completely. Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about channeling, and the funniest thing is that sometimes when I try to figure out something, it's really difficult for me to actually figure out something. It gets complicated. But when the Enrico comes or the entity comes, it's just completely mind-blowing. It's like you have a story, and sometimes I write stories in Latvian, like in articles or something, and when the information comes, you just know all the story, and you just start writing, and you can do like 20 pages in a row, non-stop. But when I need to figure out the ideas myself, nothing happens. Completely nothing happens. Like, and I completely forgot. And just yesterday there was like, I wanted to write a story, a beautiful story about the self, and after 30 minutes, like a little bit later, 30 minutes later, and then later I have no completely idea or memory what I wanted to write. Only I have the memory or the feeling that it was such a beautiful story. It was like, man, this was a really inspiring, great idea, but I completely forgot about it. So once the entity, once the Enrico or the being, whoever, and what entity for each person comes, while he's close, while he's there, you have all the information. Once it fades away, you have no information or no memory, and the information is gone. And well, this is the interesting thing. And also, many times when I want to channel, like now I'm trying to speak something, I have like a little bit of steps what I want to say. But when the Enrico comes, it's like you non-stop quick speaking, like quick non-stop speaking, and I feel how my mind works in a completely different level, how the new information comes and it works automatically. It works, I don't do anything, it works automatically. And this is such a strange feeling. This is really from channeling, really interesting. And yeah, so and soon I will place videos about my research about solar panels, although I did make my own solar cells. Only the video is in Latvian, but now while it's Christmas time, I have lots of work to do. I will try to make these videos in translate those channeling videos that are fresh and new. I will translate them on English, because in many of them there was really interesting information. And yeah, I was like just thinking about the solar panels. Like, many people are stuck in the idea that they need to make some kind of a Tesla coil, some kind of a rotor motor, and so on and so on. But when it gets to the fact that this is something that it's never built, or it is built, or it's compartmentalized, I think this is the word, then it's difficult, right? But when it gets to solar panels, it's easy to get. You can build them yourself, the solar panels. And when we're talking about the benefit of it, maybe in 30 years it's not that bad. It's like a first step for everybody to become independent. So when we are talking about the free energy stuff, maybe it's not that maybe it's not that. I was like, it's all around us. It's all around us. It's like solar panels, wind generators, wave generators. I have the technology idea about a wave generator, but I want to start to make progress in this solar energy, and then I want to also start selling them as art-of-peace solar panels. And so and then we'll see how this happens, because I think and from the channeling, the information is that it's really time for geological changes and changes in society. It's really time for that now. So let's see what happens. Let's see what happens, but let's start making these changes. Because when you have the solar panels, when you have the system at home, when you have the free energy source at home, 30%, you are not supporting any other compartmentalization, like a huge industry, a huge energy industry that like enslaves, like banks, like everything. You become independent. There is nobody that actually can or will benefit for you. And when you are independent, you find that you actually don't need money as that. You don't need to go to work. You can fully and have all the sources that are needed. You already have them. you can spend your time growing something, you can spend your time exchanging to somebody something, and just the transportation, electricity, we are really independent of it, like humans are independent of it. And when you replace that with solar energy and stop using the CO2 fossil fuels and the nuclear energy, the land turns greener, and large companies, they start to lose their power because humans become independent, and therefore there's no need for a control. There's no need to actually the control is much less over people, and that's what I want to say. So this is something that really resonates with me, although many times it's just an idea, but in real life it turns out in different ways, in different other ways. So to see where this is going, you have to take a small step at a time, So thank you for watching, and yeah, okay, I will make the video about solar cells a little bit later in English. So enjoy your time, enjoy your beautiful day, and as Enrico always says, not always says, but one time he said, every day when you wake up, understand this, or say to yourself this: when you open your eyes, man, I'm such a highly interesting person. I'm so highly interesting. And when you open your eyes and look around, and I'm in such an interesting place and time, space and time, in such a highly interesting place in space and time. And man, I can do many highly exciting things in this highly interesting place where I am right now. And this is so funny, because it's actually true, and we are in really exciting and also in a really interesting place. But you tend to tune down, or this excitement, to sadness, depression, and so on. But when you realize that actually, man, I'm living in such a beautiful and interesting place, this is really exciting. So okay, so thank you for watching, enjoy your time, and wish you the absolute best what eternity has to offer to you. I heard this somewhere, and wish you luck.